Hey folks, Jonathan here. Back working on the 59. We've got all the front brakes are done on it. I've still got to put the cotter pin in and the cap, and I've got to take, we'll show you what, there's a bump up here between the lug nuts, and I'm going to grind that off smooth. And the reason I've got to do that is these aluminum rims, as you can see, are smooth between the lugs, and they're not going to go on all the way and fit right. So, and there's not much there, just a little bit, but we're gonna, evidently when they pressed it, these holes in it, they had it set up where it made these indentions. So we'll take care of that. Bought some lug nuts. I didn't like the open lug nuts on the rims. They don't look very good. You know, if I had bought these lug nuts at Advance, I think you got to buy 2 or 3 sets to be able to get 20, and I think you end up with more than 20 when you're done. If you don't buy it like that, you end up with less than 20. And anyway, I think last time it was $44 for a set of 20 lug nuts, or that might have been 24 on the other truck because it was 6 lug. But either way, I bought the lug nuts off eBay, $11 for all 20, free shipping, and that made it nice. Got all the brake lines done. You know, got them hooked in right, and got the master cylinder on, and new brake line on it, running down to the T. I just left the old clutch master cylinder on, and let me see, center cap. I've got one in that wheel there, but I'll show you what I ended up with for center caps. Just looking around at what I had around here, and I had a set that came off of a actually come off a camper, and they fit in the rims perfect, but as you can see, they had a big hole in them, and I think the bearing buddy come through there. But what I've done is I went out to an old Honda and took the cap off of it. Now they pop in pretty good, but they're a little loose, and so we're going to do something to tighten them up, and I might be able to bend that the stainless inside there. I think these are stainless, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sand these off and paint them. I've got some Ford emblems coming for it, and try to make it look a little bit better. I mean, make the wheels look good anyway. I don't think the truck's ever going to, as long as I own it, it's not going to look too good, but it definitely has some nice patina. Gas tank's done. It's ready to put back in. It came out really good. I let it soak for a couple days, and then I turned it and got it, you know, got it looking real good. Rear seal's leaking in the transmission pretty bad. We're gonna have to do something with that. Okay, we got one of the wheels on with the center cap. Definitely gonna have to do something to tighten these down. I thought about going on the inside and putting a O-ring, but that'd be a kind of a pain in the butt if you ever pulled one off. I have to figure something out to tighten them up, but we'll get something, and then we'll get them cleaned up and painted. I still got to wipe these wheels down a little bit, but one thing I wanted to show you, if this camera will pick up. My other one does good in the dark. This one don't do real good. Okay, transmission, of course, if you've watched the other videos, it's an automatic that somebody had actually put in here, but they didn't use the rear mount, and one side of the mount's actually broke off, but they actually made some brackets. There's part of it, but that actually come down and bolt back in place of where the bell housing mounts used to be, which is kind of odd. And I'm working on the transmission lines, and I've got one off here and one off here, but you can see they was actually using the airline fitting, so I hope I've got a hose bar fitting I can put in there and get that back on. But yeah, I think there's some brackets at the front here. They cut the transmission out here. I guess it was in the way. And there's I think that's a bracket over there that they had made. But yeah, they've done some changing to get it in there, but I mean, I guess it's in there. That's the important thing. And it's got a glass pack on it, but there's, of course, there's a hole here, and there's a hole farther up in this pipe. But everything else looks pretty good. You can see the rear seal's dripping pretty bad. I've got to definitely got to put a rear seal in it. We'll clean that yoke up, make sure it's in good shape. And exhaust is tied up back there, and with some string. Floors are not really too bad in this. I've seen one little place, but as you can see, you know, they're actually pretty good. Got a little bit of issue here, but floors are pretty solid, which is really surprising. But and I guess that center hump would unbolt. The man needed to take it out. Probably would get that transmission out with that cross member. But that'd be a mess. Yeah, I'd hate to think I had to pull that one out. All right, let me climb up under. Okay, folks, I've got the center caps on and my Hondas there, and I was going to paint them. I'm still going to paint them, of course, but I ordered these Ford centers. They just stick on, but I didn't know they was concaved. They're not flat, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to get them on there good after I paint them. I don't know. I doubt they'll stay on, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might just paint the centers and just leave these off. But anyway, all right, we've got transmission coolers finished up. And I don't know if you can see it mounted in there, but I've got all the lines run for it. Found a radiator, and I will show you that. And the hoses are on the right side. It needs a little work. I don't think there's going to be any leaking issues. I hope not anyway, but this came out of a 57 International, and the hoses are all on the right side and everything. And it's a good size for it. Fits in there good. It's got the IH on it, but this was actually when my rat rod that I drive, the 57 International, was on the original frame. It was a big Navy truck, 4-wheel drive. This is the radiator that came out of it. Had a big 6-cylinder in it, Blue Diamond I think, or Black Diamond, I can't even remember. But anyway, we're moving along on this. I've got a tire that was leaking down, and I found out what it is real quick. I put some spray on. It's leaking around the bead here, and the worst thing is it was leaking on the inside. I could hear it, so I popped it down and cleaned it and popped it back on the bead. And why I wasn't thinking enough to do this side, I don't know, but not a big deal. We're gonna get the gas tank back in, and the rubber on the fuel line underneath the truck, where it comes down and it goes from rubber to steel, it's bad. Put a piece on it, and I think I'm gonna put the battery in it. I will put some gas in my little cheater jug there again, and we're going to start it up, and then hopefully I'll put a bottle or something there where the fuel line will catch it. But if the pump's good, hopefully it'll pick up and it'll start pumping gas, and then, we'll run a little bit through it and clean the system out, and then we'll be able to put a filter in line, hook it up to the carburetor, and maybe we can get that part done. Hoping, I do not have the back brakes done yet. I'm hoping I can get all this done today and take this thing down the road. I haven't done the rear seal on the transmission. I'm going to have to figure out what transmission I've got, or clean it up where I can get a number off of it. But it'll be fine just to drive it once, but it's definitely going to need one. But anyway, keep at it. I'll show you when I get work on these back brakes. And like I said, I don't think my little center is going to stick on there. The ad didn't say that they was concaved. I mean, my understanding was they was flat, but so I might just be screwed on that one. All right, show you more. Okay, had a hell of a time getting the drum off. It was stuck around the center, but we've got it off. The back don't look that bad. The only difference between the back and the front is you got an arm coming in, and it pivots right here, and you got another piece that is sort of equalizes the shoes from one side to the other, and it pushes them out when you pull the emergency brake. So the emergency brake's the only difference, and it's pretty self-explanatory. when I was young, I was always taught take both sides off and then do one side, and then you could always run and look at the other side. You know, you don't have to do that later on as you learn more, but you know, if you haven't done it before, that's one way of doing it. We've still got to change out the rubber line. I've got the new line run back to that rubber line on the frame, so we just got to change it and change our two short ones on the rear end, and of course put our wheel cylinders on. Yeah, like these things is just as bad as the front. You know, there's no way you could ever expect to run these, you know, after 35 years by just putting fluid in it. It never worked. So we're gonna get these brake shoes on here real quick and turn our drum. Our drum looks good, nice and thick. Won't be any problems there. And for anybody that needs to know or don't know, I'm not sure what the minimum thickness is or minimum diameter is on this. Usually it's printed on it or cast on it. Clean it up and find it. If not, I mean, the specs aren't hard to find. But I've got two tools that they're actually made by Bear, I think, which is the same company that made the drum lathe. And you actually measure the inside and you get an amount, you know, that's a safe diameter. And you know, I can look at these and tell that, you know, the little bit that I'm going to have to take off is not going to matter anyway. So they're in pretty good shape. So, and these shoes are actually in good shape too, but I don't want a chance that I don't need one of them coming off the actual shoe itself, you know, the lining. So all right, we'll get this changed out and we'll keep at it. All right, there's the back driver's side all done, ready to put together, and got the drums turned, ready to go. So we'll go ahead and get it on, get it adjusted, and run to the other side. And I've got to do the lines yet, but we'll get her together. Okay, we put a fuel filter from the tank to the line, and we're going to see if we can get the fuel pump to pump, and then we're going to put another filter between the pump and the carburetor. But I've got the gas tank in and got some gas in it, so see what happens. Okay, tank's hooked up, batteries in. We've got some gas in our cheater tank, and now we're going to see if we can get the fuel pump to prime and put some gas in our bottle here. All right, Brad. Pump it a couple times. All right. Nothing.
The diaphragm's rotten.
Diaphragm could be rotten, or it could have an air leak.
Oh.
Pull a sediment bowl off the bottom, but it might not have enough gas in it to pick up too. Now let's check it out. Okay, we took the steel line off, and up at the end where it wasn't hooked to the carburetor, it just clogged completely up. So we're hoping that that is going to take care of it. And we're just going to try it with the fuel pump. All right.
Ready?
Yeah, watch me, because I'm going to have you shut it down quick.
All right. Good?
Yep.
Okay.
nothing. Let's check the filter.
Probably pull that goop.
See if it sucked anything up into the filter. Not a thing.
Sure does stink.
Well, let's see.
Oh, next thing.
Okay, folks, we're completely on hold now. Check the line going from here back to the tank and blew through it. It's fine. So there's 3 solutions here: a rebuild kit for the fuel pump, a new fuel pump, or an electric fuel pump. And I don't really care for electric fuel pumps. If I can keep from it, I like the old manuals. So we're gonna see what we can do about that. Still got to put the radiator in. Got everything I need to do that, no problem. And I'll throw an alternator on it, just a GM alternator, and finish up a few little things, and then we're gonna drive this thing down the road. So the next video will definitely be us, test driving this thing for a road trip. And of course it ain't gonna be far, but and then she's for sale. So I'm not gonna go any farther with it myself. And so anyway, I was hoping this would go a little better, but 35 years sitting, I understand. Fuel pumps go out and stuff happens. So anyway, next video on this truck will be it driving though. And appreciate everybody watching. And if you haven't done it, subscribe. A lot of people watching don't subscribe. If it's possible, I would definitely appreciate it if you just subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate everybody commenting. And I wish I had more time to answer all of them, but I try to do what I can. And until next time, bye.